Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your February 4th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. They provide risk management programs to livestock producers all across the West. Whether you are concerned about price or weather risk, Ag Risk Advisors, they are here to help. With current day market fluctuations, there is nothing more important than locking in a price floor on your cattle. So if you would like to learn more about an LRP, go ahead and reach out to an advisor today. Also sponsored by American Beef Producer Magazine. They offer in-depth articles on a wide variety of topics in our industry. They feature award-winning photography and so much more within their publication. If you would like to check out their most recent edition, their February edition, go ahead and click on the American Beef Producer link above in the caption. That will take you over to their Facebook page where you can check that out. American Beef Producer Magazine, guiding beef producers for over 25 years. And finally, Lemke Cattle. They're going to be hosting their annual bull sale on February 11th, so next Friday at the ranch near Lawrence, Nebraska. These naturally thick, heavy-muscled, complete Angus, Red Angus, and Balancer genetics are developed right, guaranteed, and built for profit with over half qualified as top dollar Angus sires while also siring highly maternal, easy-keeping females that will keep you in the cow business. Head on over to lemkecattle.com, DV auction, or check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and videos. So this whole update, almost all of it, is all about NCBA, everything that has been going on down at convention in Houston. The Oklahoma Farm Report and Drovers has reported that back in July of 2020, we all remember this, NCBA came out with their 75% voluntary plan to increase negotiated cash sales. Since that plan has been put in place, cash trade has increased, according to the organization, and they believe it's because of this plan. But at the same time, packers are still not doing their fair share of increasing price discovery through negotiated trade. So on Wednesday down in Houston, NCBA had their meeting to determine the policy direction that the organization will take on cash trade. The Midwest states pushed for some level of federally mandated cash trade, but the majority of the delegates in the meeting wanted to preserve what was being called the freedom of choice for a cattle producer in how they market their cattle. This specific language was part of the framework proposed by several state cattle groups, such as Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association and Kansas Livestock Association, KLA. Current policy was then further amended by language proposed by the Texas and Southwestern cattle raisers that stated specifically that NCBA opposes any mandate of cash trade volumes. Iowa Cattlemen's Association members and some other affiliates, such as Montana and North Dakota, voted to leave the mandate in place. But at the end of the day, the amendment received a roll call vote of 146 to 41, so pretty darn overwhelming. And then it was passed with a voice vote. Then on Thursday, the general membership voted and the policy will now be ratified, so NCBA is officially against any mandate of cash trade volumes. Oklahoma Farm Report has also reported that during their convention this week, NCBA approved the organization's 2022 policy priorities with an emphasis on strengthening the economic, environmental, and social sustainability of the cattle industry. So their policy priorities include improving market leverage and opportunities through increased access to market data and risk management tools for producers, securing the future of the beef industry by protecting crucial tax provisions, limiting regulatory burdens on farms and ranches, and leveling the playing field for producers. Boosting the resiliency of the beef supply chain by addressing labor shortages, improving processing capacity, expanding technology, and strengthening transportation. And finally, they plan to achieve key cattle industry priorities in the 2023 Farm Bill. According to NCBA President-elect Don Schiefelbein, by highlighting economic, environmental, and social sustainability, NCBA is addressing the long-term needs of the cattle industry and advancing policies that will contribute to business success, economic growth, and respect for our way of life. He closed by saying that NCBA's policy efforts will continue to enhance cattle and beef business sustainability in the near term and for generations to come. This update is also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you want to start AIing your own cows or learn how to preg check your own cows, Circle 5 Cow School is the way to go. They host classes from Texas to Tennessee almost every week. If you'd like to check out their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. Drovers has reported that Senators Deb Fischer and Chuck Grassley were recently featured on AgriTalk, hosted by Chip Flory, where they discussed the current state of the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act. And I've got to say, I wonder if NCBA's stance now, how they are adamantly opposed to mandates, if that will impact the future of this bill, the future of Chuck Grassley's and Senator Deb Fischer's bill. Senator Grassley emphasized that government ought to be a referee in the free market system. They shouldn't run the marketplace, but they need to encourage competition. Senator Fischer believes our cattle markets need more transparency. For that to happen, more information needs to be available, and in order to do that, our industry must know what the negotiated price is. A quick recap of the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, if you guys don't remember. This bill would establish mandatory thresholds of negotiated cash and grid trades based on a region's 18-month trading average. Minimums would be set and implemented in each region, so it's regionalized. The bill would also require USDA to establish a cattle contract library and update mandatory reporting from packers. According to Senator Fischer, this bill has already encouraged more cash trades in recent months due to its bipartisan support. But the bill still needs to be passed so a mandated minimum threshold can be put in place for a negotiated cash trade. According to Lee Richmuth, U.S. Cattlemen's Association director, the great thing about this bill is that it looks at historical data of what was traded in the past. It also allows for public input, and it provides flexibility because there's opportunity to make a change within 2 years. So essentially, we could boost up that mandated negotiated cash trade that we would regionalize for packing plants across the nation. There must be a minimum threshold. We have to have price discovery and a strong market, said Richmuth. The Senate Ag Committee working on this bill has received technical support from USDA and Committee Chair Senator Debbie Stabenow. With such support, Senator Fischer and Grassley believe this bill is ready to move from committee. Finally, Meeting Place has reported that after the news of JBS agreeing to pay $52.5 million to settle allegations of beef price fixing, NCBA has stepped up and is demanding the DOJ release findings of its investigation into the beef markets. According to NCBA, they were the first to request a government investigation of beef markets back in 2019. Now that settlements are occurring without the DOJ releasing their findings or even updating cattle producers on the status of the investigation, NCBA feels that cattle producers deserve full transparency on any and all information related to the ongoing market investigations. NCBA CEO Colin Woodall believes that cattle producers don't have years to wait for the government to determine whether there has been wrongdoing. Answers need to come forward now. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope you guys are staying warm. It has been quite frigid here in central Nebraska. Have yourself a great Friday. I'll catch you later.